To become a firefighter on the Boulder Creek Fire Department, candidates must pass a physical agility test. The tests are held twice a year, and the training takes place on the grounds of the Station 1 Firehouse in Boulder Creek. General rules for participation can be found on the Boulder Creek Fire Department website. The candidate will begin the event at the starting line located 10 feet from the compartment. When the proctor gives the command, the candidate has 60 seconds to remove the power unit, ram, and spreaders, one tool at a time, placing them gently on the ground across the starting line. The time will stop when the candidate removes his or her hands from the last piece of equipment placed across the line. Afterwards, the candidate will not be timed as they place the tools back in their original compartments. Any dropping of the tools or stopping for more than 5 seconds will result in disqualification. The 200 feet of 1 3/4-inch hose will be charged with a fire engine to 120 psi. The hose will be flaked out and placed behind the starting line. A hose strap will be attached to the hose, and the candidate will be assisted into the strap. When the proctor gives the starting command, the candidate will have 3 minutes to advance the hose from the starting line to the finish line. The time stops when the nozzle crosses the finish line. Any stopping for more than 5 seconds will result in disqualification.
Awesome. Good job, buddy.
The candidate will grasp the rope attached to a 35-foot, 3-section aluminum ladder. The candidate will hoist the ladder, hand over hand, with thumbs down, to its maximum extension. The candidate must keep both feet on the ground and remain in an upright position. The time for this event is 35 seconds and stops when the ladder is fully extended. The candidate may not pause or stop for more than 5 seconds when extending or retracting the ladder. Any loss of control will result in disqualification. The candidate will use an 8-pound sledgehammer and swing it a minimum of 45 times in 1 minute. The candidate will start with the sledgehammer at chest level and swing the sledge onto a rubber mat. Each swing must have the head of the hammer come above shoulder level and end with contact with the rubber mat. The candidate must remain standing at all times. The proctor will count each acceptable swing out loud. The candidate may not pause or stop during the event for more than 5 seconds. Any loss of control or windmill swinging will result in disqualification.
14.
For this event, 5 tightly rolled and duct-taped 50-foot lengths of 3-inch synthetic fire hose will be placed in a line 6 feet from a simulated tailboard. The hose will be laid side by side in a straight line extending to the starting line, 16 feet away from the tailboard. The candidate will pick up 1 hose at a time, placing them in a single stack on the simulated tailboard. The candidate will remove both hands from the final roll placed on the simulated tailboard before replacing the rolls. The candidate will take each hose one at a time and place them back on the pavement in their original position. There is no order for picking up or replacing the hoses. All hoses must be placed beyond the 6-foot line, and the time stops when the candidate crosses the finish line. There is no penalty if the hose is dropped or falls from the stack, but the candidate must pick it up and replace it on the stack. If the candidate stops or pauses for more than 5 seconds, or if the hose is thrown, it will result in disqualification. The time for this event is 80 seconds. The candidate will begin at the starting line 26 feet from the wall where the dummy has been placed. At the starting command, the candidate will move towards the dummy, grab the strap, and pull the 180-pound dummy across the finish line. If the candidate stops or pauses for more than 5 seconds, he or she will be disqualified. The time for this event is 23 seconds, and the time stops when the dummy is completely across the finish line.